Good, beautiful moment of time, dear friends and community. This is Katerina Satori. I wanted to bring this conversation on a very unique feminine current of energy that is known as the solar feminine. And while I let more people join, I'd like to share with you a beautiful image that I feel represents the solar feminine, and it's this beautiful flower. Right? This is like a really passionate rose with such beautiful colors of fire, right? It's a fiery, tender, beautiful, sensual, feminine. And before I begin, since I'm going to be sharing this conversation on my other platforms, speaking about other platforms, I want to show you um, a yantra, a moving mandala of the solar feminine that is always on my screensaver. And it is the yantra of Durga, who to me is a true representation of the solar feminine. Wow, Facebook is so cool with the live announcements. I really love it. All right, let's dive into it. If you are connecting with me for the very first time on this live experience, my name is Katerina. I am originally from Russia. I was born and raised in Soviet Union, one of the most feminine deprived countries, archetypally speaking, very patriarchal, very, very patriarchal country. And this is one of the main reasons I felt a deep urge to find a different country where I could connect to my freedom and open my wings. So even as a child, I did not feel free. I was still, my childhood was still taking place during the Soviet Union, during the communism, during the regime. So I was always on a search and quest of freedom, of finding a country that would not block my freedom. So I knew that Russia, it would take another 2 generations before Russia could give me space to unfold my wings. So I remember looking for a country where I could feel free. And I went to Ukraine because that was the next opportunity that presented itself. And then I lived in Lithuania. So both Eastern European countries. And then by the hand of destiny and a higher power and the wisdom of the universe, I was given an opportunity to come to US. And I remember the first time I came here, I had a full body recognition that said, this is my land. This is where I am destined to be. And I remember saying a prayer. I was only 20 years old at that time. My first time in the US was before 2011, and I remember seeing the towers before they got knocked out in that huge tragedy of 2011. So my first time in the US was in 2000, year 2000. And I went. I came here and I saw this land, and I remember saying to myself, "This is my home. This is my home. This is my home." And 3 years after that, universe gave me another opportunity to come here, and a year after that, I was given another opportunity to return, and I stayed here and I built my life United States. I really resonated with, the philosophy of uh, personal greatness and the personal destiny, the personal legend that is really encouraged in the United States. And only later I found the word for it. It's the word that's called sovereignty. So one of the key themes that I found prevalent in my life and that now is weaved through everything I do and teach is this whole embodiment of sovereignty. And sovereignty to me is this inner freedom of sculpting your life with the power of intent, the power of focus, the power of being useful to life and service to others, the power of creativity, the power of turning your unique gifts into resources for your own life. A sovereign life is a life of freedom. And it's an empowered life where you unlock the power from within. You don't wait for anybody to come and save the day, open up doors for you. You believe in yourself enough and you're willing to do what it takes to unlock that power, right? So, this is the key pillar that I have found when we activate that archetypal energy of sovereignty. We begin to move mountains. First, we remove the mountains of limitation that we believed were ours, and we begin to unlock the mountains of inner freedom. So, sovereignty. And a few years back, I would say 2018, I start being introduced to more and more and more curriculum of the feminine, of the teachings of the feminine, right? And first, through invitation to heal my own wounds with the feminine, archetypal wounds, the wounds of the feminine conflict that is very prevalent, right? So the more I would heal my own inner feminine, the more I would experience profound gifts and profound beauty of collaborating with other women and opening my heart to the feminine qualities. Seeing that the feminine is beyond gender. It's truly the realm of consciousness. It's a yin and yang. Everything in the universe is a blend of the feminine and the masculine, the yin and the yang, the solar and the lunar. And the more I would study these archetypal teachings, and then the goddess came into my life, and the teachings of the Divine Mother came into my life, the more I was invited to discover that there's different qualities, different expressions of the feminine. And the more I would see that so much of what was available is the teachings of the lunar feminine, right? The only receptive, only passive, only, the kind of a very yin energy, which is beautiful and incredibly powerful to learn from. But I was finding myself drawn to a different expression of the feminine that only later I found out there is a name for it, and it's a solar feminine, right? And I kept being drawn to the archetypes that represent that solar feminine. Through the Eastern philosophy tradition, such as Hindu tradition, we have an archetype of Durga, one of my favorite goddesses, the fierce warrior. And Durga is a power goddess that represents the solar feminine. Now we have a goddess Sekhmet, which is from ancient Egyptian lineage. Also very powerful solar feminine, a warrior goddess. Both of them are warrior goddesses. Then we have goddess Kali, which can look lunar from the outside because she's always shown as dark, the color of the sky, the color of the cosmos. But she's very, very, very solar, very strong, empowered, direct, fierce feminine, right? But the solar feminine is not only about power and leadership and sovereignty. There's other aspects to the solar feminine that I'd like to name that I find very, very enchanting and incredibly inspiring for us who are currently living in this time and age, for people of all genders, masculine, feminine, and everything beyond that, right? These are energetics that we're talking about, the solar feminine as an energy current, as a cosmic power that we can tune into and experience and activate in our lives. So, beside sovereignty, I'm gonna I feel guided to introduce these three major qualities of the solar feminine. The first one is sovereignty. The solar feminine current will catalyze us to rise in our sovereignty and to define what that means to live as a truly liberated and empowered human being who moves through their life with full autonomy, in alignment and in flow with the universe, but truly as a ruler of their own life, building their own queendom or kingdom. For me, the path of entrepreneurship offered that. It's not a path for everybody. We can feel incredibly sovereign working in the corporate world, working as a part of the team of somebody else, right? My personal experience is when I discovered the path of entrepreneurship, of having my own business. It was really a beautiful fit. It was a perfect fit. And that's how I found my sovereignty. The second quality of the solar feminine is she's connected to her kundalini. So sensuality, sovereignty, sensuality is the next piece. Because if you only stay in expression of your sovereignty, in creating ongoing expansion, right, of your physical domain, it's one expression. There is also an opportunity to expand through your sensuality, and you can be fierce and assertive and direct and powerful, and at the same time soft and sensual, and ability and able to enjoy spaciousness and to create beauty and to elevate your experience of life as a sensory delight. So that's another quality of the solar feminine, is sensuality. When I studied the archetype of Sekhmet, the lion goddess, she has another expression. It's expression of a cat goddess, Bast. And Bast is a very sensual goddess, right? So a very curvy body, a lover of beauty, a protector of mothers and children, uh, that gives blessing for a very fulfilling home life. So when you work with the solar energy that Sekhmet represents, you can connect to her other expression, her sister Bast, that is, that is very purring, that is sensual, that is beautiful, that can offer you a lot of blessings. I love working with Bast. I have her statue on my altar. And Bast has many, many incredible gifts for her devotees. In one of my curriculums called Goddess Awakening, I speak deeply about Bast and how she's the one who is actually involved in souls taking incarnation on earth. She's the one who invites a soul to take another body. Hi. Welcome everyone who is joining here, who's going to watch this live later. It's all perfect. So the solar feminine is, not just being sweet, not just being sexy, which is wonderful, but also being fierce and being direct and being really comfortable in a position of leadership and taking charge and leading your own life. Solar feminine is also a creatively expressed feminine energy where we trust our inspiration and we honor our creativity by taking action on our ideas and cloaking our ideas into matter. Solar feminine is also spontaneous. So, three major qualities: sovereign, sensual, and spontaneous. And spontaneous, why is it the third aspect? Why is it at the end, not in the beginning? Because spontaneity comes later in our experience when we learn to trust this feminine current. To truly live in a deep feminine expression is to become more and more comfortable in dancing with mystery of life. The feminine is all about the mystery. It's all about trusting the unknown. It's all about allowing the intuitive heart to lead the way. So spontaneity unlocks through the solar feminine, where we have this deep relationship with life, where we follow the wisdom of life, where we trust it unconditionally, and we become more and more flexible and available instrument for the great goddess, Mother Divine, to work through us. So the solar feminine, I find a very powerful archetypal energy to connect and to learn to channel through us to create a life of magic and beauty and divine expression, I would say. And it's this archetype that can be channeled through all of us. So divine feminine is not a gender. I'll keep saying this again and again and again because I feel there's so many distortions towards what the feminine is, that we can illuminate together and release together and keep sharing how do we activate these archetypal currents through our lives and through our bodies in our own unique way. So I love sharing about the solar feminine, these three powerful expressions: sovereignty, sensuality, and spontaneity. I'm going to leave you with that, just an opening transmission on this topic. And I'm also going to announce that I am leading a live experience that is called Shakti Awakening, starting in 2 weeks, and the doors are open. If you'd like to experience activation of divine feminine energies in your body, in your soul, in your life, this is an experience that I teach only once a year. And every year it comes through differently because it's a living transmission. There is going to be 3 new goddesses that comes through this year. The goddess, the archetype of the natural feminine, Lilith, the one that was pushed out of a written history by patriarchy. And the Lilith archetype is the goddess of natural sexuality, the goddess who is the priestess of Eros. And I'm so, so, so excited to finally have an opportunity to bring her forth and to bring her teachings and her wisdom about reclaiming Eros as a current of aliveness, reclaiming our relationship with our sensual body, and channeling Kundalini through our bodies. The second goddess that comes through is the goddess Sekhmet, which is the most powerful warrior goddess. And she is here to teach us how to heal ourselves. Sekhmet is a very powerful healer. She brings a unique ancient Egyptian healing technology that can transform very challenging emotions and energies that we may not want to touch, such as anger or jealousy or guilt or shame. In the temple of Sekhmet, we will work with those dense energies to cleanse and liberate ourselves and to become more and more at ease with expressing our soul power and our passion. So, Sekhmet for me is power, passion, leadership, and self healing. The last goddess that will be featured in the Shakti Awakening 2024 edition is the goddess Lalita, who truly represents this playful, sensual, enchanting magic. She is an executive, like a female CEO, who is also the most incredible tantric erotic priestess. So there is a lot of eros in this version of Shakti Awakening, because I believe when we reclaim the innocence of our sexuality, when we reclaim our passionate nature, we can create so much beauty. We can be an example of a liberated human being who is creatively alive, who is present and liberated in the body, who is here to sculpt their reality into unique masterpiece by utilizing their soul gifts. Oh, yeah. Hi, Gracie. Gracie is engaging with me right now. Hi. Do you want to say something to this transmission? I was calling. I love how Gracie is just wants to be a part of the conversation. Okay, I'm going to keep this live stream brief. If you feel called to be a part of new Shakti Awakening experience, this is what you get. You get 11 modules of deep sacred feminine wisdom teachings that unlock immediately. And then a live experience starts 2 weeks from now. I'm going to add the link underneath this video. If you just joined, please watch this transmission. I have named 3 very powerful expressions of the solar feminine that we can connect to and we can channel and eventually embody. And it's a deep gift of the archetypal solar feminine that is here to be expressed through those of us who are ready to channel that level of power, because it is power. And when we redefine power, that it's a power to choose, it's a power to create, it's a power to express your soul beauty. It's not a power to rule over or dominate others. That's a distorted version of power that we're all tired of. A true nature of power is the power to bring to unity, power to heal, power to imagine your own life as a masterpiece, power to weave beauty, power to imagine, and then also passion. Solar feminine is a passionate expression of the feminine. It's not passive. Solar feminine is deeply engaged in the moment, very comfortable with leadership, very comfortable leading their own life, very comfortable to ask, very comfortable to receive, very comfortable to transform, very comfortable to let go. Sovereign, sensual, and spontaneous. When we unlock the spontaneity of our passionate, purposeful, powerful being, our life becomes a living testimony of what is possible when a human consciousness is liberated from the programming and from the stories of limitation as an expression of the divine, here to create beauty. Thank you for the opportunity to share this transmission with you. If you find it on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, this was Katerina Satori. And if you'd like to go deeper, Shakti Awakening 2024 edition is open to join, and will begin in 2 weeks. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.